Hello, everyone. Good day. I am Gina Telias, and I was tasked to report Chapter 12 of Advanced Management Information System entitled Enhancing Decision Making. These are the things to tackle about in decision making, business value of improved decision making, types of decisions, decision making process, managerial roles, real world decision making, high velocity decision, then on business intelligence, environment, analytics, capabilities, on decision support, group decision, support systems, and MIS in career. Decision making is a cognitive process that results in the selection of a course of action among several alternative scenarios. Decision making is a daily activity for any human being. There is no exception about that. When it comes to business organizations, decision making is a habit and a process as well. Effective and successful decisions result in profits, while unsuccessful ones cause losses. Therefore, corporate decision making is the most critical process in any organization. In a decision making process, we choose one course of action from a few possible alternatives. In the process of decision making, we may use many tools, techniques, and perceptions. In addition, we may make our own private decisions or may prefer a collective decision. Usually, decision making is hard. Majority of corporate decisions involve some level of dissatisfaction or conflict with another party. Business value of improved decision making. It means improving hundreds of thousands of small decisions adds up to large annual value for the business. Decision making in business used to be limited to management. Today, lower level employees are responsible for some of these decisions, as information systems make information available to lower levels of the business. But what do we need, or what do we mean by better decision making? How does decision making take place in businesses and other organizations? This slide discusses the importance of improved decision making and describes the three types of decision that are made in an organization. What does it mean to the business to make better decision? What is the monetary value of improved decision making? The table illustrates how a small decision made hundreds of times a year can be just as valuable as a single decision made once a year. For example, the decision to schedule production to fill orders made 150 times a year with a value of $10,000. If this decision is improved, can mean an annual value of $1.5 million. Dollars. The different levels in an organization tend to make different types of decisions and require different types of support to make these decisions. Um, in this diagram or in this graph, in this table rather, there are example decisions, decision maker, number of annual decisions, and estimated value to firm of a single improved decision, and they will be multiplied together, the number of annual decisions multiplied by estimated value to firm of a single improved decision, and that will be the annual value per decision. Next, types of decisions. So there are three types of decisions. But decision making in businesses used this is what I told you about earlier. So there are three types of decisions. First, unstructured decisions. Those decisions are wherein a decision maker must provide judgment, evaluation, and insight to solve problems. While, on the other hand, structured decisions are repetitive and routinary. It involved definite procedure for handling, so they do not have to be treated each time as new. And the last thing is semi-structured decisions. Only part of problem has clear-cut answer provided by accepted structure. This figure provides an illustration of how the nature of decision making changes as you move up and down the corporate hierarchy. There are, of course, exceptions. Some senior managers like to have a hands-on approach to daily operations. On unstructured, it is on senior management. The decisions they can make are decide entrance or exit from markets, approve capital budget, decide long-term goals, while semi-structures are for middle management, like design a marketing plan, develop a departmental budget, design a new corporate website. And last but not the least, at the bottom are the structured. They are meant for the operational management or individual employees and teams. The decision the decisions they are making are determining overtime eligibility, restock inventory, offer credit to customers, and determine special offers to customer. Now, this slide provides or describes the types of decisions being made at different level within an organization. Semi-structured decisions contain a portion that is unstructured and a portion that is structured. Which portion of the example question for middle manager is structured and which is unstructured? What would make this decision a fully structured question? Senior managers, they make unstructured decisions like should we enter a new market? While those middle managers, they make more structured decisions, but they may include unstructured components like why is order fulfilling report showing decline in Minneapolis? Next, operational managers, rank and file employees. They make more structured decision. Example, does customer meet criteria for credit? Next, decision making process. It is making a decision. Making a decision is a multi-step process. Now, this slide describes the process of decision making as a series of four stages. It is important to note that if a if an implemented solution doesn't work, the decider can return to an earlier stage in the process and repeat as needed. First, intelligence. It is about discovering, identifying, and understanding the problems occurring in the organization. Next, design. It is about identifying and exploring solutions to the problem. Number three, choice. Choosing among solutions or solution alternative. Last but not the least, implementation. It is making chosen alternative work and continuing to monitor how well solution is working. Example of decision is what graduate school should I enroll to? Then what would be the actions taken in that four stages? But what happens if the solution you have chosen doesn't work? This graphic illustrates the four stages of decision making introduced in the previous slide, emphasizing that steps can be repeated as needed depending on the outcome at each stage. First, intelligence. It is about problem discovery. What is the problem? Next, design. It is about solution discovery. What are the possible solutions? Next, choice. Choosing solutions. What is the best solution? And last but not the least, implementation. It is solution testing. Is the solution working? Can we make it work better? Managers play key roles in organizations. Their responsibilities range from making decisions to writing reports to attending meetings to arranging birthday parties, and we are able to better understand managerial functions and roles by examining classical and contemporary models of managerial behavior. Um, Here, there are manager roles in an organization, namely interpersonal roles, informational roles, and decisional roles. Interpersonal roles is where managers act as figureheads for the organization when they represent their companies to the outside world and perform symbolic duties such as giving out employee awards in their interpersonal role. Also, managers act as leaders attempting to motivate, counsel, and support subordinates. Managers also act as liaisons between various organizational levels. Within each of these levels, they serve as a liaisons among the members of the management team. Next, informational roles. Managers act as the nerve centers of their organizations, receiving the most concrete, up to date information and redistributing it to those who need to be aware of it. Managers are therefore information disseminators and spokespersons for their organization. Decisional rules. Managers make decisions. They act as entrepreneur by initiating new kinds of activities. They handle disturbances arising in the organization. They allocate resources to staff members who need them, and they negotiate conflicts and mediate between conflicting groups. And based on Mintzberg rules classification, is one look at where systems can and cannot help managers. This table shows that information systems are now capable of supporting most, but not at all. I mean, not all areas of managerial life. There, we can see the roles as interpersonal roles, informational roles, and decisional roles. And what kind of behavior should managers act? And on their roles and behavior, what kind of support system should they make? Next, this slide discusses the idea that while information systems can assist in making decisions by providing information and tools for analysis, they cannot always improve on decisions being made. You can understand the complexity and breadth of some of the decisions being made within an organization by looking at the activities of its managers. While the classical model of management sees five functional roles of managers, real life observation of managers sees far more complexity in managerial activities. So, as we can see, there are five functions for classical model: planning, organizing, coordinating, deciding, and controlling. And in contemporary behavioral models, actual behavior of managers appear to be less systematic, more informal, less reflective, more reactive, and less well organized in classical model. Even in decision-making situation that can be helped by informing systems, the information system may fail in helping to solve the problem or lead to a better decision. This slide describes the three main reasons why investments in information systems do not always produce positive results. What is meant by information quality? The text lists seven quality dimensions, namely accuracy, integrity, consistency, completeness, validity, timeliness, and accessibility. First, information quality. It is about high quality decisions require high quality information. Next, management filters. Managers have selective attention and have variety of biases that reject information that doesn't conform to prior conceptions. Organizational inertia and politics. Number three, strong forces within organizations resist making decisions, calling for major change. Now, here are the seven information quality dimensions that I've said earlier. High quality decisions require high quality information. First, accuracy. The question is, do the data represent reality? Next, integrity. Are the structure of data and relationships among the entities and attributes consistent? Consistency. Are data elements consistently defined? Completeness. Are all necessary data present? Next, validity. Do the data values fall within defined ranges? Next, timeliness. Are data available when needed? Lastly, accessibility. Are the data accessible, comprehensible, and usable? This slide looks at the growth of systems for executing high velocity decision making, such as financial trading programs. A second example is Google search engine. What types of problems lend themselves to this type of system? In high velocity decision environments, the intelligence, design, choice, and implementation parts of the decision making process are captured by the software's algorithms. The human who wrote the software have already identified the problem, designed a method for finding a solution, defined a range of acceptable solutions, and implemented a solution. Obviously, with humans out of the loop, great care needs to be taken to ensure the proper operation of this system to prevent significant harm. Next is here, humans taken out of decision. Example, high-speed computer trading programs. It trades executed in 30 milliseconds, or it is like responsible for flash crash of 2010. And somehow, through high-velocity automated decision making, it require safeguards to ensure proper operation and regulation. Business intelligence, or BI, is a term used by hardware and software vendors and information technology consultants to describe the infrastructure for warehousing, integrating, reporting, and analyzing data that come from the business environment, including big data. The foundation infrastructure collects, stores, cleans, and make relevant information available to managers. Business analytics, or BA, is also a vendor defined term that focuses more on tools and techniques for analyzing and understanding data. Think online analytical processing or OLAP, statistics, models, and data mining. Next is business intelligence vendors. It it creates business intelligence and analytics purchased by firms. Now, this slide looks at the six main elements at play in business intelligence. Managers impose orders on the analysis of data using a variety of managerial methods that define strategic business goals and specify how progress will be measured. Without management oversight, business analytics can produce a great deal of information that focus on the wrong matters and divert attention from the real issues. As the text notes so far, only humans can ask intelligent questions. Data from business environment. Businesses must deal with both structured and unstructured data from different sources, including big data, the data needed or need to be integrated and organized so that they can be analyzed and used by human decision makers. Next, business intelligence infrastructure. The underlying foundation of business intelligence is a powerful data system that captures all the relevant data to operate the business. Next is business analytics toolset. It is a set of software tools that are used to analyze data and produce reports, respond to questions posed by managers, and track the progress of the business using key indicators of performance. Next, managerial users and methods. Business intelligence, hardware, and software are only as intelligent as human beings who use them. Managers impose order on the analysis of data using a variety of managerial methods that define strategic business goals and specify how progress will be measured. Will be measured. Next is delivery platforms, MIS, DSS, ESS. The result from business intelligence and analytics are delivered to managers and employees in a variety of ways, depending on what they need to know to perform their jobs. MIS, DSS, and ESS deliver information and knowledge to different people and levels in the firm: operational employees, middle managers, and senior executives. Last but not the least, user interface. Business people often learn quicker from a visual representation of data than from a dry report with columns and rows of information. Now, this graphic um, looks at the different elements in the business intelligence environment. From left clockwise, data infrastructure, toolset, managerial users, platform, and user interface. This is an overview rather, highlighting the kind of hardware, software, and management capabilities that the major vendors offer that firms develop over time. So there are business intelligence infrastructure, business analytic toolset, manager users and methods, then platform, user interface, and so on. Okay. Next is analytic functionalities of BA systems. The goal is to deliver accurate real-time information to decision makers. Next, analytic functionalities of BA system. This slide looks at the main functionalities of business intelligence system. Parameterized reports are reports that can be adjusted to reflect user-defined parameters. Production reports. These are the predefined reports based on industry specific requirements. Next, these parameterized reports. Users enter several parameters as in A pivot table to filter data and isolate impacts of parameters. For instance, you might want to enter region and time of day to understand how sales of a product vary by region and time. Next is dashboard scorecards. These are visual tools for presenting performance data defined by users. Ad hoc query, search, report, creation. This allows users to create their own reports based on queries and searches. Drill down. This is the ability to move from a high level summary to a more detailed view. Forecast, scenarios, models. This includes the ability to perform linear forecasting and what if scenario analysis and analyze data using standard statistical tools. Examples of business intelligence predefined production reports. The first column tells about business functional area, and the other column is about production reports for sales, like forecast sales, sales team performance, cross-selling, sales cycle times. Next is service or call center, customer satisfaction, service cost, resolution rates, churn rates. Next, marketing, campaign effectiveness, loyalty and attrition, market basket analysis. Next, procurement and support, direct and indirect spending of contract purchases, supplier performance. Next, supply chain, backlog, fulfillment status, order cycle time, bill of material analysis. Next, financials, general ledger, accounts, receivable and payable, cash flow, profitability, human resource, employee productivity, compensation, workforce demographics, and retention. Now, this slide continues at how business intelligence is used today. In this case, who uses business intelligence? 80% are casual users relying on production reports. Senior executives use monitoring functionalities. Middle managers and analysts ad hoc analysis. Next is the operational employees. Pre-packed reports. Example, sales forecast, customer satisfaction, loyalty and attrition, supply chain, backlog, employee productivity. Now, this graphic looks at the different types of users and what they use BI application for. On the left, power users, users who rely on BI most intensively, are broken into four main categories, with each category placed beside the types of reports in it uses most. On the right, casual users are also broken into various categories and placed along the types of capabilities used most. For example, senior managers rely most on parameterized reports and dashboards. Next, example of BI applications. This slide looks at a various additional example of BI applications. The text gives the example of FedEx using predictive analytics to develop model that predict how customer will respond to price changes and has been giving an accuracy of 65 to 90%. An example might be tag clouds used for topic navigation on the internet. The larger the tag, the more popular the category. Note that BI is also used in the public sector for analyzing data and determining public policy, such as allocating school resources. Predictive analytics, it use patterns in data to predict future behavior. Example, credit card companies use predictive analytics to determine customer at risk for living. Next is data visualization. It help it helps the user see patterns and relationship that would be difficult to see. Next is geographic information system or JS. It ties location related data to maps. This slide looks at the options a firm has in purchasing BI and BA applications. There are advantages and disadvantages to both options. In one case, a single vendor might be easier to deal with, but harder to switch. Using multiple applications means that each solution might be more specifically suited to your business, but may pose um, difficulties when integrating with hardware or other software. Too many strategies are one stop integrated solution. Hardware firms sell software that run optimally on their hardware. It makes firm dependent on single vendor switching cost. Next is the multiple best of breed solution, greater flexibility and independence, and potential difficulties in integration. Next is it must deal with multiple vendors. Now, this slide and the next several slides discuss the system used by different levels in a firm to a decision making. Operational and middle managers. They monitor day to day business performance, make fairly structured decision, use MIS. Next is super user and business analysts. They use more sophisticated analysis, create customized reports, and use DSS. Decision support system. It uses mathematical or analytical models. It allows varied types of analysis. The what if analysis, the sensitivity analysis, the backward sensitivity analysis, multidimensional analysis, or OLAP. Example are the pivot table. This graphic illustrates the result of sensitivity analysis of changing the sales price of a necktie. It answered the questions: what happens to the break-even point if the sales price and the cost to make each unit increases or decreases? By the way, sensitivity analysis models ask what if questions repeatedly to predict a range of outcomes when one or more variables are changed multiple times. While backward sensitivity analysis helps decision makers with goal seeking. If I want to sell 1 million product units next year, how much must I reduce the price of the product? This graphic shows the same Microsoft Excel spreadsheet with a pivot table with two dimensions. It shows where customer come from in terms of region and advertising source. Next, decision support for senior management. These executive support systems utilize some type of methodology to determine which information affects the profitability and success of the firm and how this information can be measured. One popular methodology is the balance scorecard method. Decision support for senior management. First is the help executive focus on important performance information. Next is balance scorecard method. It measures outcome on four-dimensional: financial, business process, customer, learning, and growth. And key performance indicators or KPI measure each dimension. This is about a balanced scorecard methodology that many managers use to measure the performance of their business and to understand how firm strategies are impacting the four dimensions of interest. For each of these dimensions, performance is operationalized by identifying key performance indicators for that dimension. The balanced scorecard framework is thought to be balanced because it causes managers to focus on more than just financial performance. In the balanced scorecard, The firm's strategic objectives are operationalized along four: the financial, business process, customer and learning and growth. Each dimension is measured using several KPIs. This slide continues the discussion from the previous slides of business intelligence used by Senior. Business performance management or BPM. It translates firms' strategies example are differentiation, low cost producer, scope of operation into operational targets. KPIs developed to measure progress towards targets. Next is data for ESS. Internal data from enterprise applications, external data such as financial market databases, and drill down capabilities. Next, this slide discusses GDSS, another type of system that supports decision making. What types of problems might a group encounter when trying to make a decision as a group? What kinds of decision might need to be made as a group? Increasingly, GDSS uses a virtual meeting or telepresence capability rather than physical group decision rooms, which were used when these techniques were first developed. First is interactive system to facilitate solution of unstructured problems by group. Then specialized hardware and software typically used in conference rooms, like overhead projectors, display screens, software to collect, rank, edit participant ideas and responses. It may also require facilitator and staff. Next is enables increasing meeting size and increasing productivity. It also promotes collaborative atmosphere, guaranteeing anonymity, uses structured methods to organize and evaluate data. Last thing to consider, how will MIS help my career? Like for data analyst, they will be responsible for coordinating a variety of quality and performance measurement initiatives, including satisfaction survey programs, benchmarking and tracking quality of care, clinical outcome performance, and asset utilization. It can only be used in business courses when it comes on dealing with information system. Thank you for watching and listening. God bless you all.